Well, boys and girls, for the past few weeks in art, we have been focusing on texture. And today we're going to do a little bit of texture as well. We are going to be making a pumpkin. We're going to be using crayons, and so I'm pulling out different orange crayons to create our pumpkin, and then we're going to add some colors to our pumpkin as well. I also have black to create the stem, but you can use any color that you like. I'm going to start off by making a big oval in the center of my paper with my orange crayon. And on one side of the oval, I'm going to draw like a letter C that's going to attach to that oval. So it's like a big letter C, and that's going to make one side of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to do a backwards letter C on the other side of the pumpkin, of the oval, to make the other side of my pumpkin. So you see I have two C's, and I'm going to add two more C's, one on one side and then a backwards C on the other side. So now as you can tell, we have a nice big pumpkin on our paper, and I'm going to use a black crayon to create the stem. So in each section of the pumpkin, I'm going to draw different details or designs. In the center of my pumpkin, I'm going to draw big circles that I'm going to color in using my pink crayon. You can use any color you want to make some big circles in the center of your pumpkin. On one side of the big oval where I drew my circles, I'm going to draw some triangles with my yellow crayon. Again, you don't have to use a yellow crayon. You can use a different color or a different type of material if you don't have crayons. On the other side, I'm going to do the same thing using that yellow crayon to make some yellow triangles on my pumpkin. And it's almost like creating a pattern for my pumpkin. And that's going to be the texture for my pumpkin. In the last two sections of my pumpkin, I'm going to draw some purple squares or rectangles, and that's going to give me some more patterns and shapes inside my pumpkin. Once I have all my patterns and shapes inside my pumpkin, I'm going to start coloring in my pumpkin using my orange crayon. I want to make sure I color inside the lines and that I go around the different shapes and I don't color on top of them. I want to make sure I go around those shapes and color nice and neatly inside the lines. Now I have some other orange colors. I have some little darker orange crayons that I'm going to use, but if you don't have a darker orange, if you just have one orange crayon or marker or color pencil, you can use that one color to create the rest of the sections inside your pumpkin. But notice I am coloring, I'm drawing lines around the shapes, and that makes the shapes stand out more, but I'm not coloring on top of them. I'm making sure I color around them and stay inside the lines. So I was using a darker orange for the next parts, and because I want to think of like a pattern, I am going back to that lighter orange color to color in the last two sections where my rectangles or square shapes are on my pumpkin. Making sure that I color it in nice and neatly and go around the shapes and not coloring on top of those shapes. I want to make sure I color around the shapes. But make sure you don't leave any white spaces either. If you leave a couple, that's fine, just as long as it's not too big of white spaces. All right, now that my pumpkin is all colored in, I'm going to use my black crayon to color in the stem of my pumpkin. You don't have to use a black crayon, you can use any color you want. I thought that the black crayon would look nice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some grass for my pumpkin to sit on. And I'm going to use the side of the crayon, and I'm just going to pinch the side of it and then rub, rub, rub to make some textured grass that my pumpkin is resting on. So I'm going to do that to the whole grass area for my pumpkin. So I used the side of my crayon to make the grass textured. Now I'm going to use the side of my crayon and pinch it and rub, rub, rub on the side of it to make the sky textured. And I'm using a dark blue crayon to add the textured sky that goes around my pumpkin. And there we have it, boys and girls, some patterned pumpkins with texture. Have fun, enjoy, and stay creative.